So I've now been in real estate as both a sales agent and as a broker who runs his own company for 11 years. With all the distractions out there to supposedly help your business grow, I've narrowed it down to 2 things that every agent should absolutely be doing in order to be successful. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. When it comes to real estate, we can break it down into 2 basic parts. First, the ability to acquire a new lead, client, customer, or whatever you want to call it. And second, maintaining that relationship for as long as possible in order to create repeat and referral business. Those agents that absolutely crush both of these aspects of the business are typically the most successful. Plus, those who build the biggest referral-based business are those who, from outside, seem to have everything coming to them with very little effort and at the same time have the most amount of fun because, well, they get to choose who they will and will not work with. That's not to say that they don't have bad days, but they do have the choice to turn away people that just don't align well with them, and therefore they typically have easier transactions. So let's dive into these 2 key areas. First, we have to understand that in any business, there are 2 things that we all have to do very well in order to have a strong foundation for growth. These 2 things are prospecting and marketing. You see, prospecting is an active form of getting in front of a potential client or customer in the business. It requires action on your part. And if you neglect this area altogether, you'll miss out on almost half of your potential business. So what does prospecting look like in the real estate world? Well, to me, anything that we do over the phone or face-to-face is considered prospecting. This includes things like expired calls, canceled listing calls, for sale by owners, and even circle prospecting around either just listed or just sold properties, or even around neighborhoods that you're trying to target. Face-to-face activities, on the other hand, would be things like open houses, client parties, and even social networking events. Door knocking even fits into this category, although for me, it's one of my least favorite activities due to the amount of time involved. It's just not as efficient, and I'd much rather spend my time being in the office and calling around a neighborhood than to spend hours walking door to door. So how do I go about doing this at a high level? Well, early in my career, when I didn't have very much money, I'd run a list of expired listings from a certain time frame, say January 2022 to December of 2022. From there, I would have to scrub that list and make sure that each property wasn't currently either back on the market again with another agent or that it hasn't sold in the meantime under a new MLS number. Once I was able to delete the ones that have sold already or back on the market with another agent, I then go to the county tax records and search for the names of the owners for each one remaining on my list. From there, I had the property address and the names of the owners. I then go to a website like whitepages.com and do a search of that owner's name. If I found a match, hopefully it would give me their phone number. I found that I would get phone numbers for around half of my list. Those are the ones that I would call. I would use a typical Tom Ferry script for expired listings and try to set up the listing appointment. In the beginning, I failed miserably, and a majority of the people I called rejected me completely. I probably set 1 listing appointment for every 30 people that I contacted. But over time, and through tracking my numbers and improving my skill set, I got to where I would set 1 listing appointment with every 6 people that I contacted. This improved my chances of getting a listing tremendously. To say that this process was time-consuming would definitely be an understatement. I would run a long list of these expired and canceled listings, and it would take me a majority of the day to gather all the information. So my schedule was basically a day of research, followed by a day of prospecting on the phone to get through the list. Then on the next day, I'd run another list and start all over. The nice thing about this process is you could go back many years and search for homes that were on the market, say like 2018. They tried to sell back then and failed to do so, and they haven't sold since. So you know the owner wanted to sell at one point, so there's still possibly a chance they might want to now. Plus, imagine the amount of appreciation and potential equity they now have if they haven't refinanced. After I got a couple of these new listings sold, that's when I got serious about this process and started investing in systems and tools to help me be more efficient with my time. I've tried pretty much every service that offers the data for expired, canceled, and for sale by owners, and also neighborhood search tools. I've tried RedX, LandVoice, Mojo, and eventually Vulcan 7. Without a doubt, When it comes to the accuracy of the data, Vulcan 7 takes the cake and leaves the others way behind. Once I decided to start investing in key tools for my business like Vulcan, my business exploded. Each morning at 7 a.m., any new expired and canceled listing, as well as any new for sale by owners, they would automatically be added to my account in my database. It had all the information about the old listing, when it changed status dates, the name of the owner, the address, and sometimes even the emails. The best thing is the system even scrubs its own records each morning. So if it notices a property that used to be shown as an expired listing that gets relisted and shows up as a new active listing, it'll automatically take it out of my call list. So I'm not talking to any active listings. This just adds so much efficiency and allows me to spend my time on the most dollar producing activity, which is the phone call itself. If you need help with this one of the best things about Vulcan 7 is their Take 52 weekly Zoom calls. It's completely free, even if you don't currently use them. It's really just no-nonsense training designed to help you take a new listing each week. So 52 total for the year. Just imagine for a second, if you were just starting out and you only did half of that, if you only sold 25 homes per year, and the median national home price being around $440,000 according to redfin.com, at an average commission of just 2.5%, you'd make $275,000 in gross commission income. So sign up for their weekly Zoom calls that I still hop on even to this day. They're on Tuesdays and Thursdays each week at 1 p.m. Central Time. It's a great mastermind session and there's so much wisdom to help you get along. Also, check out the Take 52 Facebook group page where you can get more help from other like-minded agents looking to grow their business. I'll put the links in the description below for you to check out for yourself. And if you ever have questions, put them in the chat below and let's talk about it. So that basically covers the prospecting aspect of the real estate business. You have to go find new business and continually be adding fresh new clients to your database. So what about the marketing? And who are we even marketing to? Well, the answer to that is your database. Now, before you even start with me and say something like, Cole, I don't have a database, or like one I just heard the other day and actually was my biggest reason the first half of my career, I don't want to bother my friends and family because it just feels salesy. Let me ease your mind by saying, I get it. If all you were discussing each time you talk to someone in your database was real estate, or God forbid, you do what some of these major companies teach and spam your entire database on each call with the only goal of asking the question, who do you know who's looking to buy, sell, or rent a home right now that I can help? Give me a break. And if that's all you're taught to do, no wonder it feels salesy. Plus, eventually your so-called friends, they just quit taking your calls. Nobody wants that. So what if I told you there's a better way, and where your friends would actually drop what they're doing most of the time and take your call? Would you like to know the secret? Well, here it is. Each time you talk to your people in your database, either through text or phone call, you're never going to bring up real estate. Instead, you focus on building the relationship through actual conversations that are important to them. Get to know your people. Show them you genuinely care about what's going on in their lives. If you don't have a database, now's the best time to put it together. I've made a whole video on how to go about building out your database and getting the 4 key pieces of information you'll need to systematically communicate with them, so that when they think about buying or selling, they think of you first. So check out the link above for that video. So once you have that database put together, you'll then want a system in place to communicate with them, and it's not as complicated as you might think. Also, you don't need a ton of people in your database either. All you really need are people you build great relationships with who want to support you and see you succeed. And that only happens when they feel that from you as well. Once the system's in place, you should be generating 1 transaction for every 10 people in your database each and every year. So if you did what we mentioned earlier and got involved with the Take 52 group and used something like Vulcan 7 to generate 25 transactions from prospecting on the listing side, you could easily sell another 25 homes each year just from having only 250 people in your database. Now you're making over $500,000 each year, and you'll definitely be in a position to bring on a full-time assistant to help with all your new administrative tasks. Go ahead and check out the video in the link above that literally walks you through exactly how to communicate with the people in your database, what to even say when you do, and exactly how often. And that's it. That's really all there is when you break it down for your real estate business. Half of your business should come from new people that you find through actively prospecting, and the other half of your business should come from people in your database. The awesome thing is this: each year, as you continue to find more and more people from prospecting, those people then get added to your database and will help you grow more and more every year. I once went back and I tracked down 12 transactions from one simple expired listing call. I called this guy back in 2015. I picked up the initial homeowner as a client and helped them sell their home that had been sitting on the market for over 6 months. Then I went on to help them find their next home. Fast forward 9 years and I've helped their kids buy primary homes, a few rentals, and even helped those that they referred to me. So you never know what the lifetime value of a client will be. So check out the 2 videos that I've linked to help you build out and communicate with your database. Also, click on the links below and get involved at the Take 52 group page. If you want, just come check out those free trainings each week. It's definitely worth your time. As always, leave any questions or comments below and I'd love to chat with you. I'll see you in the next video.